CBS News special correspondent James Brown takes a look at how a coalition of athletes are fighting for justice for Ahmaud.
The tragic shooting death of a young black man, Ahmaud Arbery, has caught the attention of the entire country. 2 months later, the release of a video of the incident seems to have prompted action from local law enforcement authorities in Georgia to arrest a father and son who were involved. The Players Coalition, an independent social justice group of professional athletes, coaches, and owners, has been moved to action. The group sent a letter to the Department of Justice asking for federal intervention. And joining us now is Anquon Boldin, NFL star, 14 years in the league, and the co-founder of the Players Coalition. Anquon, let me just ask you right off the top, the appeal to the federal level, why?
Well, we felt that was only right. Because of the inaction that has happened to the local law enforcement down in South Georgia, we thought it was only right that we appeal to the DOJ to come in and investigate everybody involved. They have the resources and they have the know-how. They have the experience over the years of coming in and investigating local law enforcement when action has not been taken. So we felt like it was the right thing to do.
What was most disappointing to you, and does this seem to be typical? I know you're intimately involved in this. Is this kind of standard operating procedure?
Yeah, I think for me, there's a number of things that was disappointing. Number one, like I said, the inaction that took place down there. They had been sitting on evidence and video for over 2 months, and it wasn't until the video became public and the outcry became very loud that people started to take action. It's also disappointing to see the lack of accountability for those that are in positions of authority to make sure that the law is abided by, which goes to a point that we've been trying to push for a long time now, which is people being able to go out and exercise their right to vote. Because people like your state's attorneys and your district attorneys, they are elected officials. And I think we've sat back far too long and had people tell us that our vote doesn't count, when in actuality it does. So people like the current DA and those that have recused themselves down in South Georgia, they are elected officials. And it's our job to make sure that we put the right people in those seats so that they can seek justice when justice needs to be served.
Across the spectrum of the people with whom you work, are you sensing unacceptability, if you will, as an attitude, frustration with this seeming narrative that occurs over and over again?
Most definitely. And I think you can see that by the people that have signed on to the letter. In the past, it's been majority African Americans who've been speaking out about this problem. But I think there's a number of people, a lot of people in this country who are sick and tired and fed up of the way things are going in this country. And they're tired of turning on the news and seeing unarmed black men and women shot dead in the streets. So if you look at the list, there's a collective group who comes from different cultures, different backgrounds, different race, ethnicities. There's African Americans, there's white Americans, you name it. It's on that list. And like I said, I think the majority of the people are tired of seeing the same thing happen.
And the list and letter that Anquon Boldin is referencing is the letter that they did send to the U.S. Attorney General, William Barr. And this is absolutely, the last time we talked to you was around Super Bowl time, and you were expressing what it is you guys are undertaking and trying to improve social justice and racial equality. It was and it is personal for you. And the reason it's personal is?
Well, the reason it's personal for me because I lost a cousin to the hands of an off-duty officer, a plainclothes investigator, who, after just breaking down on the side of the road, it cost him his life. And we've seen far too often in this country people doing normal activities, and because of the color of their skin, it cost them their lives. We've seen a young man sitting in his living room watching TV, and it cost him his life. We've seen, in the case of my cousin, him breaking down on the side of the road and waiting on roadside assistance, and it cost him his life. We see with Ahmaud Arbery, him taking a jog in his community, and it cost him his life. And that's something that we're sick and tired of Nobody should lose their life just because of the color of their skin.
Anquon, thank you so very much for all that you do, continuing to do. Super Bowl champion, 14 years in the NFL, as I mentioned, a social justice advocate, but you put all of that to the side to pursue what you see is the right thing to do. Continued success.
Thank you, and I appreciate you for having us on.